Welcome back to another episode of the Pin High Podcast presented by Pin High Media. This week, we're going to talk about the Valspar with a great finish with Sam Burns and Davis Riley in a playoff. And we're also going to get into some match play madness for the WGC Dell Technologies. So let's get into it.
This is Jordan Spieth here, and
this is the Pin High Podcast.
So let's get inside the ropes. We'll start with the finish to the Valspar. I mean, we were talking about this before we started recording. There was something else going on during the weekend. Something that many of you may have watched. A bunch of boys dribbling or basketball.
Kids, they're just kids.
Yeah. But the ending of the tournament was quite interesting. I mean, the last like the back nine pretty much is where it really got interesting with Davis Riley on, was it the 8th hole that he triple bogeyed the par 5?
I think it was seven.
It was
I think he's playing up the 8th hole.
It was actually
like the
5.
5th hole.
It was 5.
Yeah,
playing up the 8th hole.
He was
made
playing
an 8.
up.
That's what it was. Okay.
I think he was playing up 7 and then ended up on 8. And then like I saw the shot, like
the shot link,
3D shot link, and like it didn't, like, even just like the where it was actually going on the course. And like it didn't make sense where he was going. Like I had no, I could barely follow it, and I was just.
I mean, if he just makes a double bogey on that hole,
he wins the tournament.
Yeah,
wins the tournament. So, but we can talk about. I mean, like, seemed for a little bit he was completely out of it after that triple bogey. I think I saw that his live odds were like plus 1,200. So all of a sudden he comes back, and before his tee shot on 17 that he put to, 5 feet, maybe probably 4 feet.
Right, and that was like the second birdie on
plus
750 of the day, I think.
Yeah.
Like,
so,
which is crazy.
Yeah, and then he forces the playoff with Sam Burns, and Sam Burns tells him on the first tee, he goes, or on the first tee, on the 18th tee, he goes, "Good luck, buddy." And I was like, that's where it was over.
That's it.
If you get buddied on the tee of the playoff hole by your opponent, well, there's no coming back from that. That's what I'm thinking.
They actually are good friends. Like, they mentioned like they had played junior golf together for a long time. Like, they were the number one.
If I buddy you on the 18th tee at Silver Mine while we're tied at the end of a match, you're putting in the left bunkers.
Maybe.
You're
sculling your chip over the green. Except they fixed the sand on the course cheek. That's besides the point, but they fixed all the sand on the course.
That's a big development.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about my golf situation last week. Maybe we'll do that at the end. But
we can talk about it though in the clubhouse.
Yeah, I mean, Sam Burns kind of made a mess of the 17th hole, as you mentioned. He went over. I think he like chipped short, and then he chipped the lawn, and he ended up having to make like a 10-foot putt just to make bogey. So like he almost kind of considered himself lucky to be in the playoff in general. I mean, he made a couple of those putts all day for par where, they were not easy putts. They were 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 footers that he had to make to make par and just get into the playoff.
I think the one thing that Vegas continually gets wrong is on Sundays, they put people's odds to win the golf tournament that are leading at like minus 200 when like they're just probably not going to win.
Well,
like,
especially a guy like Davis Riley, who,
yeah,
frankly, I've never heard of before. And he's
never heard of Davis Riley?
Yeah, he won a couple of times on the Corn Ferry.
What?
He's one of those guys.
Davis Riley's like not a small name. I feel like
never
he's like
heard that name. Well, I saw his swing one video. I'm like, damn, he's a sweet swing. Like,
gee, am I crazy?
He's not that small of a name because he went to Alabama, and he was like Justin Thomas's like guy at Alabama, like the last couple of years, I guess.
Well, he also
they go at the same time.
No.
Davis
I
Riley
mean,
was, like,
as in
newly out of college.
like his mentor, like Justin Thomas,
Oh,
like
okay. I was
backed
gonna say,
Davis Riley
Davis
coming
Riley
out
like
of
graduated
yeah,
college like
yeah.
probably the year before us.
If I have heard it, I haven't heard it or seen him in a really, really long time. Because like one, he doesn't have a Wikipedia page. Not that I was looking for Wikipedia, but that's what I've heard that was circling around the internet. And two, I just didn't know this guy. Matt Nesmith, my guy, go Cox on the
It's Matt Neesmith.
Neesmith. God damn it,
What's
Matt
Nesmith?
Your guy.
Neesmith. He was leading the tournament after like 261s. So I was hoping he would pull it out.
He was
JT was right
250
there.
to 1 pre-tournament. I saw some
Yeah.
people on golf Twitter had that too, and I was
Hey,
like, how?
He's ball striking, great ball striking.
Yeah, he's a great ball striker. He was like after like 2 rounds, he was like at like 3.9 strokes gain approach, and the next was at like 1.3.
Yeah, that's the only. I'm pretty sure that's the only thing he does well. Is just hit iron shots.
Hey, I mean,
Yeah, but that could win you a tournament. Ask some other guys.
Ask Colin Morikawa.
ask Victor Hovland.
Exactly. I mean, but yeah, so Burns was lucky to get himself in the playoff, but once the playoff hit, 18th hole, pretty even throughout. And then they play. Did they play 18 again, or was it another?
They played 18, then they played
16. Was it? So that was a weird order, but they went to 16, and I think on the tee shot, advantage Davis Riley from the tee shot.
was.
You had Burns in the rough, Riley right down the middle.
He was smoking drives at the end of the round.
Yeah, really was.
Yeah, which credit to him for after he hit that drive on 5 and he was like look kind of out of it. He was still like on 18, he pured his drive and he picked up the tee before the ball even apexed on the 18th hole of a golf tournament to win upwards of $1 million. Like that's big balls right there doing that. Hitting that
100%.
shot.
Yeah, but also what's also big balls is Sam Burns right out of the rough, going aggressive at the pin and hitting a pretty good shot out of the rough to the point where he had a putt that, ultimately won the tournament for him. And what a crazy putt it was. But like, all of a sudden there was advantage Burns coming up to the green because Riley kind of hit his over the green and he had the chip. So putt versus chip. And then, Burns steps up to the putt and just nails it, which was pretty crazy.
Which after watching the first playoff hole, like you would think, oh, like Burns he's gonna win. Like Riley's in the bunker. He wasn't even. We weren't even sure about his lie at first. He was saying it was a fine lie, but
yeah,
like
hit a great bunker shot.
Burns, yeah, but hit a great bunker shot. But you're thinking like after Riley's tee shot, you're thinking, okay, like if he doesn't get a good lie, like Burns he's gonna win this. But we Sam Burns has won 3 times in the last year. Like that's a lot. Like that's like Patrick Cantlay. I don't think Rahm has even won 3 times in the last year.
He should have, but
He should have. Yeah, but like it's like that's up there with like the most on tour, like in the last like calendar year. Like
yeah, it was, they posted a graphic of it. It was him, Cameron Smith.
Yeah, Cameron Smith.
Cantlay, I believe, right?
Yeah,
at least Cantlay. I know Cantlay was on there, but it was, which is good for him. Like he's making his mark on. He's won 3 times in the past year, and now he's going to Augusta for the first time. Like that's pretty.
I mean,
pretty exciting.
He's number 10 in the world right now.
Yeah,
which is like crazy to think. Like 2 years ago, or even 1 year ago, when you're saying like you're saying the top 10 golfers, I think 1 through 9 you're probably okay with it. Those are the usual suspects, maybe outside of Victor Hovland, who like you could probably see coming. But Sam Burns at number 10, that would have been surprising to anyone.
Hideki also has won 3 times in the last 12 months.
Yeah, that makes sense as well.
Those 4.
Yeah, and he won one of the big ones.
Burns, Cantlay, and Smith.
But who got dropped out of the top 10 for Burns?
DJ.
The last time DJ was not in the top 10, I saw something like Colin Morikawa was in high school. Jordan Spieth hadn't won a major yet. Like it's a long like 7, 8 years ago.
And it's weird because that COVID summer and fall, because he won the Masters, he was like the best player in golf.
Oh,
no, maybe DJ just needs no fans.
He was like 500 to win golf tournaments.
If DJ plays
Yeah.
in a tournament where there's not a lot of fans, I'll back him to win. That's what it is.
Well, the Masters has grandstands now, so that doesn't really.
Yeah, so that's not going to be the
him.
Masters, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So one of my coworkers was telling me that he thinks that faders don't do well at Augusta, that they don't win, and that DJ was
Sergio.
was the
Sergio
only
won.
exception, but it was like the fall Masters, and it was like not as firm. But Sergio, I guess, too.
Sergio fades the ball.
Yeah.
He is the power fade. I don't know if I necessarily. Well, John Rahm has like played well there like his like whole career, and he fades the ball.
I guess doesn't win though.
No, he doesn't win. No, that's true.
yeah, but I feel like the winning comes down to the putter for the most part.
It does.
If you're in the top 5, I feel like the person who has the best putter is going to win the tournament.
Cam Smith.
Cam Smith could very easily win Augusta.
Oh,
Yeah,
very, very
definitely.
Very
I mean,
easily.
speaking about Augusta, I mean, we didn't mention who's not playing in Augusta this year.
Phil
That's
Mickelson.
our guy Phil Mickelson. Yeah. So we don't really know why. I mean, we do know why.
Yeah, we do.
Golf World knows why, but like they didn't say why. But it's pretty obvious that Phil has been suspended by the PGA Tour, and the Masters is not on the PGA Tour. But like, you know, the Masters is not going to take any suspended players, so Phil is out at Augusta.
I would say it might even be just like, even if he's not suspended by the PGA Tour, which is like basically what Jay Monahan said at the players, and and the fact that Phil's not playing, it may sound like that. I also think it could be Augusta just saying like, hey, just don't come this year. Like, just don't. We don't like it'd be in best interest of both of our parties for you not to come. I think Phil to a certain degree understands that at this point.
Maybe.
He's
You
not,
never know with Phil.
Yeah, you're right. You never know.
Like, yeah, I feel like Phil's gonna want to play in the U.S. Open. Like, that's the one that he doesn't have. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's just think about the media storm that would follow Phil to Augusta. Augusta doesn't want that. Augusta, that would take away from the actual tournament being played, would be Phil being there. And then all these questions would be asked to players like Rory, Morikawa, Rahm about like, how do you feel about Phil being here? How do you feel about like this? And I think it just takes away from the hype of the tournament coming up, and like the focus of like, Rory's not going to want to talk about Phil during that week. Like, they're all going to want to talk about the golf course, and like inevitably they're going to get questions about Phil not being there. But I think Phil being there would be just a huge. I think they made the right move saying don't come. Like, I think it would be a huge.
Makes you wonder what the momentum of him playing in Greg Norman's Super League is.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, it does make you wonder. He might be fully in. Who knows?
We wouldn't.
events
Yeah,
in the
we
US.
won't know until like actual more details get announced about the Super League, but those details continue to come out. So
Yeah, so we actually have a schedule for the Super League, which has come out. I have it listed up right here.
You can go through it.
Yeah, inaugural event starting June 9th to June 11th at Centurion Golf Club. Again, we don't know who's playing in this league, but they do have some pretty big clubs here. Then the rest of the year schedule goes July 1st to 3rd at Pumpkin Ridge Golf Club in Portland. The 29th to 31st at Trump National Bedminster, which is close to home for us.
that one overlaps with the Rocket Mortgage, which is quite interesting because it's at a very good course, Trump Bedminster. And that is a tournament that not many of the bigger names are typically drawn to anyway. So
Only one really being Bryson, which is funny, it would make it even funnier if Bryson went to that tour and
I don't think he
Rocket
is at this
Mortgage
point,
guy.
but it just makes you wonder like what kind of momentum they gain in a week like that, where the big guys aren't playing the Rocket Mortgage anyway, so they decide, hey, what's it going to cost me if I go play in the Super League, if I truly can legally not get suspended from the PGA Tour if I go play.
Yeah, and it is interesting. These events are like kind of spread out over they're like 3 weeks at a time. They're not like it's one tournament, then a couple weeks off, then another tournament, then a couple weeks off. September 2nd through 4th at the International, which is in Boston, but not really in Boston. It's outside of Boston, but
Way outside of Boston
area.
Not even really the
not
Boston
really.
area.
Yeah, not really. Same thing with like TPC Boston, not really that close to Boston.
It's like kids at college who say they're from Boston, even though they're really from like Worcester.
Yeah, exactly. Then the September 16th through 18th, so 2 weeks off there, Rich Harvest Farms in Chicago. So that's the American circuit right there. And then in October 7th through 9th, they go to Stonehill Club in Bangkok. Then the 14th through the 16th, Royal Greens Golf Club in Jeddah. And then there's
Jeddah?
team. I don't even know where Jeddah is.
Is that a country?
I'm gonna Google it. It's probably in
Jeddah.
like
Justin Jefferson.
it's probably in like Saudi Arabia. Let me Google it. And that's correct. It is in Saudi Arabia.
Okay, there you go.
And then there's
wait, when did you say where were the events in late September, early October?
so we go Portland, New Jersey, Boston, Chicago, and then Bangkok, Jeddah, and then there's a team championship, which I don't know where that is yet.
That's one that will be really interesting because it could that idea could gain some momentum even on the PGA Tour, like we talked about, however many weeks ago.
Yeah,
with
definitely.
one of the WGCs, because like the WGC match play, for instance, that came from, kind of a progressive idea to do a match play tournament. Why couldn't a team tournament kind of happen that still has individual rewards? But we've talked about this. So
yeah, I mean, it says the event will have over 30 millions up for grabs, and the Telegraph is revealing that the first event will have a $19 million purse for a 48-man field, which is a specific number right there.
no cut.
No cut.
Sure, there's no cut.
So the first 7 regular season events will carry a 91 million. Well, it's actually pounds. This article's in pounds. Pound the purse, and then the individual champion for the remaining events will have a total purse of 22 million, which is offered up to like the top individuals of the season, which is crazy.
Jesus.
That's a lot of money, which I don't like. I know where it's coming from, but 48-man field, very specific number. They have 48 guys. We'll find out.
It'll also be interesting to see because the President's Cup I looked it up. It's the 19th. That week is like the 19th through the 25th of September. And there's an event, the one in
there's
Illinois,
an event in Chicago, and then
like
right
that ends the day before that. Like it's like that'll be interesting to see if people, especially players who are.
I mean, I feel like the guys who are playing in this
President's Cup teams.
I feel like the guys who are playing in this probably won't be on the President's Cup team.
No,
It's just
I don't think
idea.
so either. But I also think just think about the lower tier international guys. Like I wouldn't
Yeah, maybe
guys who are on granted the rosters will be announced by then, but like guys who are on the cusp, like maybe there are guys on the cusp who might like kind of like on the edge, like you could pick them, could maybe not pick them, and you say they kind of weigh that, or
yeah, I mean, I think
like
the rest of the world President's Cup team, I think that team's gonna be pretty loaded. I don't think there's a lot of lower tier guys that are gonna make the team. Because if you think about it, it's Cam Smith, it's Degi Matsuyama, Sungjae Im, Joaquin Neiman, Louis Oosthuizen, Abraham Answer. Like these are all like big names. Like even Corey Connors like puts his name in the hat there, which is Pat's guy. Like there's a lot of names there that like are high up in the standings that I don't think are gonna leave for this breakaway league.
I'm not saying those guys are. I'm saying the guys that are like on the 12th and 13th spot. Like who right now would be like the 12th and 13th spot, like the international.
So 12 is Corey Connors, 13 is Sebastian Munoz, 11 Mark Leishman. Like still I don't see those guys leaving.
Okay.
And
I
Mito Pereira
it could
puts
be something
himself
to
in like
watch.
15th. So it's like there's I think when you get down to like 20 is where you start to get to see like some guys that might leave the tour. So I don't know. It's interesting to see. Well, something definitely to look at.
Yeah, and we can speculate all we want week to week, but the only real things to talk about at this point that we haven't already exhausted are the new things that come out, like the schedule. So we can just kind of take it week to week with news about that and not just say the same thing every week, probably.
Yeah. And then, I mean, it just gets moving on. One of the guys who we thought was in for the Saudi Golf League, who then stepped back, is Bryson. And we haven't seen Bryson play for a couple of weeks. He's in this week for the match play. So, I mean, thoughts on that?
I think the value of him on like all the sports books is probably very good. I think I saw he's like 35 to 1 to win.
Like his talent, like who knows what he's doing, but
at the same time, I saw a quote from him right before he started recording that he's like not even close to going like full blown, like full swing on drives and everything. So it's like, at what point is it like, he's going to be rusty on his wedges. He's going to be, which we've seen many times is not good for Bryson. And I'm a fader this week of Bryson.
Yeah, I can agree for that.
To his like full swing
he's not close to being like full blown, or it was something like that.
Huh.
You could get him at 40 to 1.
Yeah,
it's the highest I've seen. So it's like
I know it is high matchups.
And it is a matchup. So like you're one and done here. Like if you lose, you lose. So that's the one thing. I don't know.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not one and done in the pool
in
play.
The beginning. Yeah, but
you
it will
play
be.
The round robin.
It will be at some point. So
yeah,
like you basically got to win. Like you got to win your matchups. Like if you don't win, like if you don't win like your first one, like you're not in a good spot to move on.
No,
to say the least.
Yeah, and then one last thing, we did talk about the Masters a little bit earlier, but a list came out this week of like, every year a list comes out of previous champions who are not playing in the Masters, and there was one name missing from the list, and that's Tiger Woods. So
I'm not taking any stock into it.
I mean, Mickelson was on the list.
I don't think it's gonna happen, but that I don't think he's gonna play. I really don't. That's just a lot
really of Twitter speculation out there.
Like it's honestly like people are like saying it, like seeing it on Twitter that like all these people are not playing, and it is fun to think about, but it's not gonna happen. He's just not gonna play this week. But who knows? What if he did? It's always fun to think about like that.
It is fun to think about Tiger and the hypotheticals of him playing.
I mean, it is a nice tease for us. Not gonna lie. Like they could have just put his name on the list.
How crazy!
And then
how crazy would that be?
That's intentional. They want to keep his name out of being out for as long as possible, to keep as many people interested for as long as possible.
Yeah, people, and
there are people who won't
like
watch
us
the Masters, who won't watch the Masters because Tiger's not playing in them. There are people out there. There's probably a decent amount of people out there who are like that, who fall into that category.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
So, I mean, there's a lot of people who only watch the Masters. It's not like golf tournament they watch of the year. So.
Yeah, that's also true. It's Masters week, and we're getting. Because the Players just ended. The Valspar was a good finish. Match play is always fun. What's next week? Valero, I think. Maybe
Valero's next week, yeah, because Bryson was saying that he wants to play in that, but he's taking it week to week and see how he feels this week with his
whichever. Yeah,
is a torn labrum in his hip and something in his wrist.
Yeah, our guy Sam Burns withdrew this week and next week, and he's just gonna go straight to Augusta. He's literally going to Augusta this week to like play there.
I don't blame him at all. He's won a golf tournament. Like you're feeling good about your game, just like go play Augusta as much as you can, and get everything you, because it's like his first time playing in it, so he's got to get it figured out. Like he's got to.
I wonder how his game
try to gather all that experience into 1 week.
I mean, he's a good ball striker, obviously.
His game putter translates probably pretty well.
He putted pretty well on Sunday, didn't he?
He's a good putter in general, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so if he gets ball striking down, like he has a good putting week, like he could make some noise there for sure.
Pretty general take there.
But there's a formula.
That's a very general take.
There's a formula to winning at Augusta, and it's just strike the ball well, putt the ball well.
But like
And that
it's
formula
good. It's
wins
good
everywhere.
that it's good that he's going early, because it is Augusta is the place where you take course history like into account very heavily.
Mhm.
And so someone playing, like, at least he realizes that and is saying like, okay, I gotta get just everything like figured out about this place. Like I gotta play as much as I can the next however many weeks before the tournament starts.
Right.
And also I heard on, well, I think it was on Foreplay. I think it was Taylor Gooch said like people, like especially guys who are going early, like their first time playing, like you got to get that awe factor out of the way. Like you got to play and like take in all the sights and like take it in and like have a fun time. And then like you can't just like show up the week of the Masters and expect to prepare like this great amount, be like so focused when you're literally, that's your first time at Augusta National. Like, and I think that makes a lot of sense. Like guys who just need to go early and just get that, like, wow, I'm actually at Augusta, and then like that kind of settles down, and then you're like, okay, I'm ready to prepare and compete in this tournament. Like, I think that definitely helps.
Oh, there's definitely something to be said for that.
Cool.
On that note, do we want to get into skins? Not skins. This
But-
week we're doing
but
something
kind of
different, I
skins.
guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but let's get into it.
Kind of skins. So this week we're doing something kind of different because it's a bracket and we're not going to be doing our full skins. We're going to each have a pick for one unit that doesn't count towards our like total for the year. So this could be big for Trevor if he somehow gets like a 30-1 winner and all of a sudden like goes into the positive. But if it's below 21, say you pick JT at 14-1 or something like that, it will count if you lose it.
Yeah, basically a risk-free bet for those counting if you're over 20-1.
Exactly. So do we want to start with those?
We can start with those. Yeah, why not?
Okay. So I'll start with mine. Mine's Max Homa, 60-1. Unless there's better odds out there or somewhere else, I'll find out after this. But on one of them, he's 60-1. So I'm really zoning in on the 75 to 125 approaches and the 175 to 200, and he's very solid in both of those. Not exactly the exact numbers, but it's somewhere like the 30s ranked in each, which is really like somewhere at the top of this field for like both. And you know, he's playing good golf recently, and it just seems right, 60-1. And I've done a bracket. It maps out pretty well. I mean, he's in a group with Dustin Johnson, but I don't know. I feel like DJ hasn't been playing the best golf recently, so I'm a fan of that one, 60-1. So 66 could be up 60 units from the last week.
Yeah, this could be a big week if somebody gets one right. It could flip the whole thing, which is totally fine. I guess I'll go with my pick. I'm gonna go with Billy Horschel. He's won this in the past. He's 34-1.
He won it last year.
He won it last year, right? Yeah, back-to-back winner, Billy Horschel. He's played this event a bunch of times before, so. And he's in a good group as well. So
I'm actually fading Billy Horschel. He's not making it out of this group.
He's with Thomas Peters, Tom Hoagie, and Minwoo Lee. So
Tom Hoagie plus 300 to make it out of that group.
I would get Tom.
It's on the scoring card.
Tom Hoagie probably is a dog.
But I would back Billy Horschel to get out of that group, and then it's a whole match play thing. So I'm gonna.
Tom Hoagie's plus 250 to get out of the group, but that is on the Scory Connors card.
Yeah, still would bet that. But I'm going to go with Billy Horschel. I kind of just picked a name out of a hat. I literally just looked at the odds and picked a name like just a second ago. No research into it.
Okay, so I will pick Patrick Cantlay plus 2,200.
I was going to pick him, but that was a safe pick.
Yeah, I figured I need to go as safe as possible, but also not lose any units if it loses.
You're still down if he wins.
You know what? That's okay. But I'll go with Patrick Cantlay just to dog in match play. Obviously, we've seen from the Ryder Cup teams. I don't know his history here. I just literally just looked at the odds list and said that seems like a good pick. And also Morikawa 20-1. I thought about Zalatoris, but I remembered he can't putt, so that scares me. I also thought about Brian Harmon, and I think he could be a sneaky.
Webb Simpson's making out of that group.
I don't know.
We can talk about that.
Brian Harmon.
We could talk about that, but I will say Brian Harmon has played this event twice, T5 and T9.
Oh, all right. I'm changing my pick to Brian Harmon to win it all.
Okay.
That's it.
See.
It's plus 6,500.
Okay.
All right.
Sure?
I'm sure.
Okay. That's locked in.
If Cantlay wins, I'll be a livid, but that's okay. I'll take it. I like Brian Harmon.
My other winner that doesn't count towards this, but is on the card is JT 14-1.
I did see that.
I like his path honestly a lot.
Yeah, this event's interesting. It's a long
I really
run.
like Scotty Scheffler's path too, but except for if he gets out of his group. If he gets out of his group, I like his path if he gets
there
out.
There could possibly be a Scotty Scheffler, Billy Horschel second round matchup. And they were in the final. I'm just saying they were in the final last year, which is interesting that could be a second round matchup.
Yeah. So Jeek's gonna put up the bracket. We're just gonna go through it real quick.
So we'll start up here
in the top left with the number 1 overall seed, John Rahm. He's got Patrick Reed, Cameron Young, and Sebastian Munoz in his. I'll get your guys' thoughts before I give mine on this one.
I mean, Cameron Young
could be a sleeper.
Yeah, he's sneaky.
Yes.
I mean,
he's a sleeper for me to get out of there.
I think it's gonna be Rahm, but I think Cam Young could make some things interesting.
Yeah, for sake of the
Are we going 2-1 against Trev on Cameron Young, or you can override me and go Rahm with Trevor?
It is a tough call.
Let's go Cameron Young. Let's go
let's go fit in this one.
Why not?
Why not?
We'll do it by committee.
And then the next one who they're facing, it would be Koepka versus Lowry, Varner, and Van Rooyen. Now that's an interesting group right there.
I really like Shane Lowry. I really like Eric Van Rooyen. I like one of the
I
two
don't like
of them.
Koepka. I actually think it's going to be an upset there. I don't like Koepka. That's what I'll say. The other three I could live with.
I don't like.
One.
I kind of like. I know Van Rooyen's played well here. I'm pretty sure. I do like Lowry though. I think Lowry could be the pick for there.
Okay,
I'm down for that. Yeah.
Nice. All right, so moving down into the next group, we have Bryson coming off of injury, Taylor Gooch, Lee Westwood, and Richard Bland. So a couple Englishmen there.
I'm a big Taylor Gooch guy here.
I think
I'm also on Team Taylor Gooch.
I think he wins that group easily.
Taylor Gooch is a sleeper to win this tournament, and I don't know what the odds are. It's probably somewhere around 60. I think he might be 55-1 to win. That is one that is very intriguing to me.
What are his odds to get out of that group? Plus 210. Not bad.
Not bad odds.
I think
that might be on the scoring card as well.
I think you could breeze through that group. Like Richard Bland, Lee Westwood's. Who knows what he's been doing?
Yeah, Taylor Gooch is on the scoring card.
Yeah,
okay.
I like it.
So the next group is where we have our first pick of a winner here. Max Homa, Pat's winner coming out of this group. You have DJ, Wolf, and Mackenzie Hughes, who's also, I think, has played well in this event in the past.
Well, you know my pick, but you guys can feel free to override me.
I'll back your Max
Homa
pick.
I like Homa.
Okay.
I think DJ is going to come out of that group. I don't know why, but I back your pick. Yeah, Matthew Wolf is not coming out of that group. I don't think. Though he is pretty long, but anyway. Next group, Scheffler, Fitzpatrick, Fleetwood, and Poulter. I believe this is between Scheffler and Fitzpatrick for me. Those are two really good players, but I think it's a Scotty Scheffler coming out.
But it'd be so easy to say he gets out. Like these are 4 dogs of match play guys. So
yeah, I mean Poulter's a good match play guy, and so is Fleetwood. But I just like, you got to pick the top dog. I feel like if there's a group of dogs like this.
Okay, let's go, Scotty. He's playing the best I've ever.
He
won.
He's won twice in the last couple.
Yeah,
weeks. You kind of have to do it. I mean, I know who I want in this group. I know who you guys are going to be between in this group. It's going to be between Hoagie and Horschel probably. Thomas Peters and Nick Lee are also in this group.
I love Hoagie.
I just think Billy Horschel's a good matchup guy, but I'm outnumbered.
I think Billy Horschel's a great matchup guy too. I don't know. It's going to be between those two for sure.
Trevor's the deciding pick.
Yeah, up to Trev.
Let's go Hoagie. Spice it up a little bit.
Okay, so we got Hoagie in there, so that busts my my bracket. So if this thing gets busted by a Horschel win, then that's all right. Okay, so next group: Hatton, Berger, Siwoo Kim, and Christian Bezuidenhout. Who do we like coming out of that group? That's an interesting group right there.
I'm on Team Gesundheit.
I believe.
I don't know. It's hard.
Austin Country Club's not a Pete Dye course. I'll rule out Siwoo Kim.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Daniel Berger's coming off of that that weird ruling, or it wasn't even a ruling, but just like
that's not good. That's not good.
Ooh, is it possible he plays anyone in there?
No,
I mean, no Hovland's on the other side.
On the other side of the bracket. That'd be sick if they play each other in the final.
And then you have Hatton coming off of a pretty good week. The players, I believe.
Terrell Hatton's number one in strokes gained putting on tour. I will say that.
I like Berger, but I know Pat likes.
You guys don't have to say it. Follow everything I'm saying.
No.
Yeah, I kind of like Hatton just coming out of this group. I don't think he's going to go much further than that. But
okay, sure.
I'm fine with Hatton.
I think whoever wins this next group, which is Cantlay, Seamus Power, and Keith Mitchell, who Keith Mitchell's kind of a sleeper out of this group, I believe.
I think it's gonna be Cantlay.
But I also think it's gonna be Cantlay.
I can say for me, it came down when I was filling up my bracket between Cantlay and M, because I was just like, at the end of the day, it's between the two dogs, and I couldn't go against Cantlay.
Yeah, and this is like sneaky hard if you're looking at this right now.
It's so difficult,
so hard. There's no like clear cut winners. I feel like out of any group. I mean, the closest we had was the Gooch, the Shambo group, and Gooch isn't even the top guy in that group. So
no.
So going over to the right side of the bracket, Colin Morikawa, Jason Kokrak, Sergio Garcia, and Robert McIntyre in a group.
Sergio's played well here.
Sergio has played well here.
A really good match play guy.
Well, I mean,
Morikawa's game is not.
The putting is what lets you down in a match play,
and the putting gives you pause.
Yeah, I could back Sergio. A couple upsets for the 1 and the 2 for our bracket.
I could back Sergio.
I'm fine with Sergio.
Okay, so we got Sergio winning that group in a little bit.
Oh boy!
But again, he's played well. So now this group is a contentious group for us. From us talking before the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Abraham Answer, Webb Simpson, Brian Harmon, and Bubba Watson. Now, Bubba's won this event in the past. Of death,
in my opinion.
Brian Harmon's been good in this event. Would I say T5, T8? Webb Simpson, solid match play guy, and then Abraham Answer. We don't know about the match play, but he could be pretty good.
I like Answer, but I didn't realize they were in the same
actually
group.
played insane match play.
Actually, you're right. The President's Cup.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
That was like his coming out party as a player.
Based on recent form, I think Brian Harmon's been in the best recent form.
I don't disagree with you.
For me, but I know you like Webb Simpson, right?
Mm.
This one's a toss up for us.
I mean, like I'm not like the most confident about Webb Simpson, but I do like his
you just have Webb beating Brian Harmon. Isn't that what you like the first round? Isn't that it?
And I have him coming out of the group.
Oh, and you have him coming out of the group. Okay.
How are we going to decide this one if we're all on 3 different guys?
What do you have Answer, Jeek?
I'm gonna go on Harmon.
All right, then I have Harmon to win it all.
Yeah, okay, you guys can go with
Harmon. Let's go with Harmon. I'm just basing that off of recent play and just like past history at this point.
I any one of those, like I think Answer, Simpson, or Harmon, any one of those could like easily
Bubba's won here too.
Yeah, Bubba has one.
like that. Like I said, group of death.
That was a good group.
That is a good group. I'm excited to see that one. So the next group: Louis Oosthuizen, Paul Casey, Corey Connors, and Alex Noren.
Scory. I don't think Scory's coming out of that group, to be honest.
I
Not
like
a good
Noren.
enough putter for me, but
I mean, it's possible. You never know, but
I kind of like Paul Casey in a match play. I don't know why.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Noren. I think he's been playing well.
It's between Oosthuizen and Paul Casey for me.
I'm on Paul Casey, so
I'll go Paul Casey. Casey.
Go
but 2-1, we get Paul Casey in there. This bracket might be terrible because we're all over the place, but we'll see. Next group: Xander Schauffele, Tony Finau, Lucas Herbert, and what's his first name? Kanaya.
I think this one's easy.
Yoko Kamaya. Got two of
Finau's a good match play player. I think he's like second in strokes gained on approaches, 175 to 200 yards.
Who, Finau?
Yeah,
he has not been playing well though at all.
He has not been playing well. He has missed like 4 of his last 5 cuts or something like that.
Oh,
so I think Xander Schauffele is an easy pick here.
I think it's easy.
Xander Schauffele also on the scoring card. Come out of the group. Plus 175.
So who we like in this one?
Xander.
Okay. Next up, Justin Thomas, Kevin Kisner,
this one's intriguing.
Mark Leishman, and Luke List. Now, Kevin Kisner, if there's a course horse at this event, he might be the guy. He's been unreal at this event.
It's true.
It's tough not to go with JT coming off a great week, and he actually hasn't been putting the best. I think he's 100th in strokes gained putting on tour this year, but I don't know. Leishman's also not a bad pick. Luke List isn't winning.
Kisner coming off of a good week at the Players too.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough.
JT played great last week.
Yeah, that's a coin flip for me.
I think I go JT.
End of the day, I think you go JT.
I think it's just better.
It's not like we're picking all favorites all throughout.
Yeah. So this group is interesting because the form is like all over the place here. Jordan Spieth, Adam Scott, Justin Rose, Keegan Bradley.
I don't like Keegan Bradley.
I kind of like Adam Scott.
I like Adam Scott. I don't think
Adam Scott's probably the
enough.
best recent form guy out of this group, I would think.
Yeah.
He's got good wedge play.
His putting's been pretty good recently.
Yeah.
The long putter back.
All right, let's go Scott then.
I could go with Adam Scott. Okay. Joaquin Neiman, Kevin Na, Russell Henley, Maverick McNeely.
I'm seeing Russell Henley as a big pick that people like this week to win.
Too.
Okay, pull it out. And then the last first round group: Victor Hovland, Will Zalatoris, Cameron Tringali, Sepp Straka.
Don't hate on it. Sepp Straka.
I thought you were going to
He
say
did win.
I was going to say
He did win recently, and he looked unreal when he won.
There's gonna be every year. There's somebody who comes out of a group and ends up in the final 4, where you're like, where did that come from? I think Sepp Straka could be that guy.
Could happen. I think Will Zalatoris not a good putter. Victor Hovland not a good chipper. Cameron Tringali just can't win for some reason. Which
I think this is but from what I remember this golf course, I remember it's just I feel like if you're a good ball striker, this is I don't remember seeing guys I remember just drivable par 4s. There's big long par 5s that have precise landing areas. I think Hovland could play really well.
I do back Hovland on those, but I just worry if he gets into a match play situation where he is in a chipping contest with somebody per se, say they're within 100 yards, I don't know if I back him. So that's the only thing.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm fine with either Hovland or Straka. I feel like we should make the bracket interesting. Go Straka.
I'm fine with Straka.
Just so if we have that pick, we'd be well, we were all over that. All right, back to the top. Cameron Young versus Shane Lowry. What do we think there?
I feel like Shane Lowry is the obvious pick there. Cameron Young, obviously the sleeper pick to come out of the first. To go another upset pick over Shane Lowry would, could happen, but I think Shane Lowry's the pick there.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree as well.
Okay, Queen sweep. Gooch versus Homa. Pat's on Homa.
Yeah.
I think this could go either way. This would be a really interesting one to watch because
I hope this one happens.
I'm on home. Like I'd be on either of them, honestly. I'd be on the winner of this one.
I like Gooch.
Good. I like either one. You guys pick. I'm not.
I'm on.
I like
I'm
Gooch,
on.
I
I'm
like
on.
Homa
I
too.
kind of like Gooch based on how he's played in the recently. I guess.
I'll let you pick Gooch for the sake of this bracket.
Okay. Scheffler versus Hoagie.
I think Hoagie could win.
I just feel like Hoagie's not a match play guy. I think he's more of a like tournament guy.
I don't know.
Now.
I don't know. Think about
Like,
that Jordan Speed story.
If Hoagie and Scheffler were in a playoff in an event right now, I think I would probably pick Scheffler. That's not like a hot take.
Okay.
But
I think Hoagie. I like if you go. I'm perfectly fine with Scheffler. I'll keep Hoagie in the back of my pocket though for this tournament. I like him a lot.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Shuffler it is.
I think Cantlay beats Hatton here. What do you guys?
I think he does too.
Yeah, let's go with it. Up to the top on this side, Sergio versus Harmon. That's a tough matchup right there. Two guys have played well in this tournament before.
I gotta go Harmon.
I go Harmon off of recent form.
Okay. Paul Casey versus Sander Schauffele.
It goes
That's a
Andrew.
tough one.
Paul Casey's.
This is like a Ryder Cup
dogs.
matchup right here.
It is. I think Xander's
Don't
just
sleep
too.
on Paul Casey there.
Yeah, no, dude has the biggest forearms on tour.
Great forearms.
You guys pick. I'm on Xander's side, but I know
I'm
you
very
guys-
50-50 here.
If you're both
I'll
on
be
Paul
on Paul
Casey,
Casey
go,
here.
go Paul Casey. Yeah.
I think I like Paul Casey. Yeah. Xander's just been a little unsteady, like off the tee recently.
Yeah, he has been.
Justin Thomas versus Adam Scott.
I like JT.
I think I would go JT as well. I think I would have also went Kisner if we picked him in the first round. I think whoever comes out of that group might win this next. Henley versus Straka.
That's
think
a
Henley-
tough one. I'm not sure.
I think Henley could be. I like Henley
Let's run through
in
with
that
Henley.
matchup.
Okay. So we're in the Elite Eight here. Shane Lowry versus Taylor Gooch. I kind of want to ride with Gooch.
I kind of do too. I like Lowry, but
Let's ride with Gooch. I'll ride the Gooch train.
This would be an unreal matchup. Scheffler
Yeah,
versus Cantlay.
I think I'm going Shuffler than that one.
Match played dog.
I like Scheffler.
Harmon and Casey is also an interesting matchup.
All right, the Casey train.
Okay,
I like Casey.
let's ride the Casey train. Can't be an All-American Final Four. Justin Thomas, Russell Henley.
I think JT's the pick.
I'll go JT here.
Okay,
I think
into
Russell
the,
Henley could
into
win
the
that
final
So Final
four.
Four is Gooch, Scheffler, Casey, Thomas. So
Best form out of this group, Scotty Scheffler. Finished in second last year.
I think
Let's go
Gooch.
Gooch.
I think Gooch surprises him.
let's
yeah.
ride the Gooch train.
All right, I'm on the Gooch train. I like that.
And then
Justin Thomas, Paul Casey.
let's do Justin Thomas.
Okay, third place matchup, Scheffler versus Casey. Who we got?
Casey.
Casey.
Gonna ride the
Casey.
Casey train.
Casey would win the third place match.
He
Yeah.
probably would.
And then
The
let's just
champion.
ride the Gooch train.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll ride the Gooch train all the
Let's
way.
go. Taylor
Tiebreaker.
Gooch.
Tiebreaker total birdies in the championship matchup
Ooh,
between both groups.
I think it's me.
10,
I think
Or
it'd be
11.
birdie fest. Yeah, I would say 11.
11, sure.
I think did double digits for sure.
Okay, so we're riding the Gooch train. That's our champion right there.
Oh,
Taylor
yeah.
Gooch.
There we go.
Sweet.
What a bracket. Nice.
All right. On that note, so we got Gooch. We're on the Gooch train. Let's get into the clubhouse to end the week. We had Jeek talking about his golf trip.
Yeah, I guess I'll talk about my golf trip. So I played 2 rounds of golf in Vegas. We played the Paiute Resort, which it's like a golf resort by an Indian reservation. So it's pretty cool. It's kind of out there in the middle of the desert. Pete Dye courses, 3 Pete Dye courses out there, and just I got destroyed. There's no way around it. The greens were just the greens were rock solid. Just about as hard of as greens as I've ever played. Just like nothing really wanted to hold up on them. And I think I had 3 putts on the first 3 holes. So that's 9 putts in 3 holes. I ended up with like 42 putts in 18 holes. I just could not figure it out on the greens at all. And I hit the ball like okay that round. Just didn't putt well at all.
What was the Cameron Smith first players? Like how many putts did he have in like
107, something like that.
Yeah.
Chico had that in 2 rounds.
It was not good, which is it's funny because I played a second round at Las Vegas National, which is a very old club. It's more of a muni now, but Tiger Woods did win his first PGA Tour event at Las Vegas National, the Las Vegas Invitational.
That's pretty cool.
So that was pretty cool, but it's like I couldn't even like figure out how, because the course was just pretty short for like a PGA Tour event. I couldn't figure out how like they would fit pros in there, but again, this was like a while ago. I think I had 42 putts in the first round. I think I had like half of that in the next round. I putted so well in the next round, just normal greens.
21 putts,
and not 21 putts. I had like in the high 20s. I think I had like 28 putts in the round. I just putted so well. I made a lot of putts, but I hit the ball terribly in that round.
Yeah, that's
how it goes. So like I hit the ball well in the first round, putted terrible, shot over 100 for the first time in like a couple years, which like is crazy. And most of that came on the putting greens. It had nothing to do with how I like hit the ball. And then we get to the next round. I hit the ball like really, really bad. Putted well and shot like a 90. So it was. I had both sides there. I had one good ball striking round, one good putting round, but not together. I think the course Las Vegas National was not a hard golf course. I probably could have shot in the mid 80s or low 80s, but I didn't hit the ball well.
Yeah, golf. Like you said, you hit the ball great one round and putt terrible, and then you putt the ball great.
My opening day is on Saturday.
Saturday.
I'm playing.
I gotta putting the wheel.
Fairchild wheel.
The wheel. Oh my god. We played there for FC. We played there for FCX.
The black
every
course?
Year. I don't know. There's 2 courses. I don't remember honestly. I remember just a lot. Like, just let me know what the 10th hole is, and I'll remember the course. I think it might have been the black course, but I only remember a couple of holes there. But it was just like all these kids from New Canaan, Greenwich, Darien, all going to the wheel to play.
I mean, it's $37, so I can't imagine.
No, it's not that. It's not
nicest
crazy.
round of golf, but
nice. It's not like you could be playing a lot worse.
There's a place that's open in March for 18 holes and had a tee time in the morning. So
is there 18 holes? Is the mine open yet? Like fully 18 holes?
No, I don't think so.
Not yet. I might go out to the mine this weekend.
I might go on today.
Might tear it up depending, just based on my Vegas experience.
If I'm not moving into a Airbnb or an apartment on Saturday, I will be playing golf on Saturday.
Did you not play golf today?
No, I didn't. I ended up driving around Atlanta for hours just looking at areas for potential apartments. And
fair enough. Yeah, I'm on the NYC apartment hunt now. It's tough. It is tough.
Yeah, it's not fun.
I know that all too. It was a grind. It took me over a month.
Honestly, I might just try to play one afternoon, like 9 holes, and just see how it goes. I think the course near me is like a 9-hole reversible course. It's like you can play 9 holes for like somewhat cheap, like at night. I might just do that. It's like it was like 75 degrees here today. Like super nice.
Not bad, not bad.
Going back to my
Feels
rounds
like
of
summer.
golf, I was playing with Max, and every time Max took a video of me, I hit like a sick shot. I don't know why.
Yeah, the one you
Yeah,
sent,
four.
like you like one hop and
He
stop.
took like a
It's
couple
pretty
videos of me,
nice.
and like they were all good, like my good shots. Like he, for some reason, didn't
Yeah.
catch any of the bad shots.
That's great.
Let's
I
see
feel
it.
like that's not how it usually is. I feel like
No,
if
it's
you get on
usually the
camera,
opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
um,
The thing is, he wouldn't
anyway.
tell me he was filming me, so like I had no clue. He just happened to get.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever made a wedge stop like that in my life. So
We'll talk about our rounds or whatever, however much golf we play this weekend on next week's episode for the Valero. But anyway, we'll see you next week for the Valero.